Professional. Who's professional? Good afternoon. My name's Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of Clarity Social TV. This afternoon, we're joined by the delightful Deborah.
Hello,
there we go. I got
hi,
it right this
everyone.
time. we could edit the last one.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody's well. Thank you for joining us. If you joined us at 10 o'clock this morning, you know we sort of overran slightly, but that's fine. Yeah,
Marginally.
Doesn't matter, does it? We got the 3 demos in. So if you're looking for some inspiration, then you can go back and watch the 10 o'clock show. The lovely Gracie is in the room with you, all the way back in New York now, and apparently it's scorching in New York as well.
Crumbs. Hi, Grace.
So if you've got any questions, she's there to help. Grace will pop a link up to the Clarity Social TV page, where everything that Deb showed during the 10 o'clock show and this show as well will be in there, available in the bundles and also individually. Because what we decided, we were having a Linda Williams day, weren't we, today?
We are.
So in the morning, it was all about tea, coffee and cake. Good way to start the day.
Sounds like a perfect morning.
And then this afternoon, we're in the garden with Linda Williams. Everything is available in stamps and groovy. And so I thought what we would do, we'd wait for a few people to find us. We can see, there we go, we've got some friends coming in. Apparently it's cooled down now. It was scorching on Wednesday though. There we go from Grace. So it's scorching here, so we'll send it back over to you, Grace.
Yeah, it's going to get hotter here as well.
Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll have a run through if you're tuning in, how to order, etc., etc. So I'm going to jump over to the other page and bring up some details on the screen. So this was the collection that we looked at this morning. This is the Linda's Time for Tea, Coffee and Cake A6 Stamp and Mask Collection. The item number at the top, which is 11343, that's the item number you will need if you wish to purchase this item. At the bottom, you can see the price. Now, this is normally £93.92. Okay, but the value for it is absolutely amazing, even at that price.
Such good value.
But because we've just finished our half price club member sale, I thought, well, for those of our friends that aren't in the club, let's do a special price. So you have a fantastic saving of £38 on this collection, bringing the price down to £55.92. So you can either order by going to, I'm going to reach across there, to the Clarity, always reach too far, that's what they all say, claritycrafts.com. Go to that show page that Grace would have put a link up to. Alternatively, Monday to Friday, from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m, you can give the office a call on 01732 868 215, where the lovely Sue, Grace or Pete will be able to help and take your order. Okay, so I thought what we'll do, while we wait for some friends to come, we'll have a complete run through of what we looked at this morning, what we're going to have a look at this afternoon, and also have a look at the groovy version as well.
Lovely.
Lovely. Our friends at home can see. Right, here we go. So you can see here, you've got this fantastic full collection from Linda Williams, item number 11343, £55.92, saving £38 plus your Clarity Craft Club discount as well. Then if you're just into your tea, we have a smaller collection for you. This is Linda's Tea A6 Stamp and Mask Quartet, item number 11341, £19 saving, bringing that down to £27.96. But if, like Debs and myself, you're into your coffee and your cake, then we've got this collection for you. Item number 11342. Same saving, same price. Now this afternoon, as we mentioned, we're in the garden. So this is Linda's In the Garden Set 1 A5 Square Stamp and Mask Trio. So you have the greenhouse, you've got the garden shed, and you have the lemon tree and garden shack. Item number 11014, £19.50 saving, bringing it down to £28.47.
That's a summer house, surely, isn't it?
Summer, yes, summer house. I couldn't think of the word. What did I call it? A shack. Wow, shack, summer house. Began with an S. Could have been worse. There we go on to set 2, item number 11015. Same saving, same price. So at the top, you've got the lovely deck chairs. Then underneath, you've got the wicker chair. And then to the left of that, you've got the floral stairs. And I know this is a set that Deb's going to concentrate on during this particular hour. Then we have the third set, item number 11016. So we have the garden swing, we have the rose arch, and then we have the hammock. Perfect for a lazy, sunny Sunday afternoon. Now, if you're into your groovy, as we mentioned earlier, you can go for Linda's Welsh Dresser A5 Groovy Plate. Item number 41723, £5.50 saving, bringing it down to £8.25. So we'll go back to our tea time now. Linda's Time for Tea A5 Square Groovy Quartet with A4 Parchment. These are lovely 2 shades of blue. Item number 41734, £23 saving, bringing that one down to £33.95. Then we'll go to coffee and cake with the lovely peach and nutmeg A4 parchment, 5 sheets of each, 41735, £23 saving, £33.95. Then we'll go back to the garden with the same trio of designs. So you've got your greenhouse, your garden shed, and your summer house. Got it right this time. Item number 42306, £16.50 saving, bringing it down to £24.75. Set number 2, item number 42307, same saving, same price, floral stairs, wicker chairs, and deck chairs. So many useful elements on all of these designs from Linda. And finally, the third set, item number 42308, the hammock, the garden swing, and then the lovely rose arch. Save £16.50, bringing it down to £24.75 plus your club discount. And there's one other item I wanted to show because we looked at this earlier. This is the fantastic purple laminator and hot foil kit bundle. We looked at the tea and coffee printed postcards earlier, which I'd foiled during one of our sale shows last week.
Yep, saw that.
So these are lovely. So they're available in postcards as well. And I've just thought I'd give you a little reminder of this fantastic hot foil kit. And what I can tell you, I'll give you a sneaky peek on this. We thought that each month we bring out a new design set to work with the hot foiling. Jazz has done an amazing job, and that will be launching next month. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You've got to wait until next month, but it's beautiful. You had a look.
I've had a peek. It's lovely,
and it is, yeah, absolutely.
I'll be
amazing.
back for it. That's for sure. I'll be knocking on the door.
We're knocking on the door. There you go. So that was a quick run through. So I'm going to hand over to Debs, and then so you're going to have 3 demos planned for us.
Yes, but one is a quick one.
One is a quick one. Okay,
I always say
famous last words.
Yeah.
So when Debs comes to us and when Barb's here and Louise, and we do demos during our shows, in the catch up and craft section, we do downloads, don't we?
Yes.
So if we have a look on the overhead.
They're like recipes.
They are.
If you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the 3 demos I'm going to do this afternoon. Let's just shuffle them over slightly. Jess has done a great job loading these up. So you get at the top the date and time of the show, what we're calling it in the garden, what was made, so a picture of the card, and then the ingredients for your recipe, if you like. And obviously the method is what I'm demonstrating here as well. Although I do blog all of these cards. They'll all be blogged over the next few days. One of this morning's has gone out today.
Right.
And then I'll be putting the others out as well.
And where may we find your blog?
You can find that on my blog at deborahscraftyblog.com.
Super duper.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's...
Sometimes it's helpful to have a step-by-step description as well as watching online, because I'm conscious sometimes we skip over them a little bit if we're
or we
short
just
on
talk
time.
rubbish. I talk rubbish.
I was going to say, speak for yourself, Sunshine.
I am. Right, so that's the first demo.
So I'll hopefully not talk rubbish. Yep. These are hyperlinks on here as well. So when you've got it online on the website, if you click on the link, it will take you to the product.
It will indeed.
Which is really helpful.
But if you print it off, it doesn't work.
No. Funny that.
Just stating.
But they have got the product number on here, so which makes it easier to find them on the website if you're doing it from a printed copy. So that's demo number 1.
Yeah.
Demo number 2, we're going to have a quick look at ATC, Artist Trading Card.
Okay.
Which we've been majoring on Clarity. Now I'm
It
at it.
is-
Clarity Crafts, Mini Makes and ATCs. Got
Correct.
it.
Facebook page.
Facebook page.
Yes, perfect.
Yep.
Grace has very kindly popped up a link to your blog.
Oh,
So,
thanks,
there
Grace.
we go.
Very kind.
So we're going to have a look at a little ATC.
Yep. Just
I mean, it looks massive, doesn't it?
It does, but that's because it's a big picture. It is only 3.5 by 2.5, whichever. Yeah, one way round or the other. Yes, so we'll do that. And by the way, friends, tomorrow there's a monthly ATC swap on the Mini Makes Facebook page. Jane and Liz put out a call, excuse me, each month with the theme. There's ATC artist trading cards and PTC is parchment trading cards.
Yeah.
The reason for that is final sign up for the July swap is lunchtime tomorrow.
Right.
28.
Okay. So if you want to take
cough,
part
I'm
in
sorry.
that, if you want to take part in the next month's ATC or PTC swap, then all you need to do is go to, I'm sure Gracie will pop the link up to the Clarity Crafts, Mini Makes and ATC Facebook page. There'll be a section on there where you can sign up to either the stamping one or to the groovy one or both.
Or both.
Yeah. And then the ladies then organise your swap partners, tell you who you're going to swap with, you contact them, and then you make your ATC. And there's always a theme and a colour, isn't there?
That's right. That's right. And mine was really easy this month because I got paired up with my sister.
Oh.
So I didn't have to ask for her address or any details for posting.
That was handy,
I know
then.
where she lives.
But have you got to post it or are you going to deliver it?
I've posted it. I've already done it.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm slacking.
No. Okay. So that's the second demo. Moving on.
Moving on swiftly.
I like this one.
Time to relax. Deck chairs. Sun's shining. It's going to be hot. Where better to be than down at the beach, at the sea. So we're using a stencil and masks to create this one, but with those fantastic deck chair images.
Oh, they're good. I love
just
that.
Lovely.
Really
Love
beautiful.
them.
Okay. Right. So I'm going to bring up some details on the screen so you're going with set number 2, wasn't it? Yes.
Mainly.
Set number 2. So that's the detail there for that. I'm going to bring that up.
The hammocks in set 3.
Yeah.
I think, yes.
And then, so let's bring up set 2 to start with. Okay.
Okay.
And then
do we want to look at
some artwork?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Let's be radical.
Why not? We've got an hour or two.
Yeah. It's Friday afternoon. What else do you want to do?
Exactly. There's no rush hour traffic to get onto, is there? Dartford Crossing.
Yeah, Dartford Crossing. Yeah.
You love
the joys. The joys.
One thing I do not miss is the Dartford Crossing.
Hacking it across the river.
Yeah. Okie doke.
Right, let's come in the centre. Okay, so we're looking at set 1 now to start with. So this is a fabulous, I want to call it a garden shed, but it looks like it's brick built. So, but it's good. It's
a man cave or a lady cave.
Yes.
A person cave.
Craft room.
Yes.
Lots of, again, as we always say, lots of lovely little accent stamps. So your little wooden boxes, a pile of logs, little flowers, wheelbarrow. Yeah, they're just lovely. And here's, I think Barb did this one.
Isn't this lovely? Because it's got the elegance of it and it's been stamped onto designer paper. And then with our eraser pencil, the colour's been lifted out.
Just lifted out to highlight areas. So it's really soft. It's just beautiful.
That. Yeah.
Really beautiful. So that's taking the colour out. And then this is adding colour in.
Nice.
Which is, I think, yes, Julie Dunn. So she's used lots of the smaller elements to build a garden around it.
Yeah.
These are some of the older leaf stamps, but the newer elementary stamps would work fantastically in the background as well.
Yeah, because each of the stamp sets also come with their masks, don't they? So, so you can then mask off your area.
But it looks so good on designer paper, just with a little pencil shading.
Yeah.
So that's the first in set 1. The second stamps in set 1 is this lovely greenhouse.
And all of the designs mix and match. So you can take the grass from this one, you can put it with one of the other designs.
Yeah, take chairs from one with a, you put that chair with the garden shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really good. There's a lovely greenhouse scene. Let me move these across and then we can see this properly. So this has been cut out with the nested arch dies.
Yeah.
And then stamped on here, and it's on pearlescent card, so it's just got a bit of a shimmer to it, which is really lovely. And then by contrast, Sheila Metzler has done one on designer paper again.
I like that.
And shaded in. Yes, I saw this. Sheila put it on Clarity Worldwide on Facebook, and it's just lovely.
It's really sort of, you got the autumn colours.
Feels a bit autumnal, doesn't it?
Yeah. Nice and cool for this time of year.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's all right. You've got a sun hat here on the chair, so you're all right.
Or to protect you from the rain.
I think you might need more than a straw hat.
Yeah.
If that was the case. Okay, and this is the third one. I think, yes, third one in set 1, which is the lemon tree garden.
I love this one.
It's beautiful. I blogged a card with this yesterday.
I reckon Linda took her inspiration from this because Barb's got this in the bottom of her garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My friend Jean had a shed similar to that, which was her husband's man cave. Yes, was Richard's man cave. But it's just lovely with the tree. But actually, the little picnic blanket with a parasol as well.
Nice. And look, the little kitten.
The cat on the cushion.
On the cushion.
Just fantastic. And the little sign for the garden. I mean, all of these elements are just lovely.
Yeah.
So there's one just using the elements. Building the cat's on the cushion on the
front porch.
On the front porch of the summer house.
Nice.
It's really nice. Whereas this one doesn't use the summer house at all. This is a picnic.
I like
one.
that.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
I love the black corners, actually. They feel like it might be peel-offs.
I think they're peel-offs.
But they just really pull it out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they look
lovely
lovely
little
with
picnic.
clever corners.
Oh yes, definitely.
Corner stamps.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then here's something really different. Just craft on white. And if I'm, it's Sarah Brennan.
That's nice.
So this is heat embossed, the tree and the summer house. And this, I think, is one of Leonie's
It's Leonie's scribble square nested frame.
Yeah, so that's die cut.
Yeah.
But just such impact.
It does, doesn't it? It gives it a completely
no
different
colouring
look.
on there at all.
No, sort of from rather sort of the New Elegant countryside, you've gone a little bit more arty on this one.
Yeah.
Nice.
It almost looks like different pathways into the garden, doesn't it? Okay, so that is set 1.
Yeah. Okay.
So then the next 3 are set 2.
Which are details are on your screen.
So we'll start with the floral steps.
And
again, lovely, lots of
one,
little. I'm going to use this one on my first demo.
You're sliding it. It's stuck to the table.
Yeah, just make it look seamless.
Yeah. No, that's all.
Look at this. That's just it's an inky mop-up background. Doesn't that look fab for a kind of, that old French farmhouse effect?
Yes. Yeah.
Really cool.
Nice.
Really cool. That's Sheila as well, Sheila Metzer. And actually, several of the design team have been putting their pictures of their samples onto Clarity Worldwide Facebook page, so you can drop in there and have a closer look at some of these, because I'm conscious we just whip through them. And then you can ask people what techniques and what products they used.
Super.
So we're going from that grungy to this is so pretty. So pretty.
It's got the elegance, hasn't it?
Yeah. And that's all. This is all flat. It's on a topper. Yeah. But without it being edged.
Nice.
And then just shaded in. It's just lovely. You can just really feel that stone farmhouse.
Yeah.
Linda Spencer on that one.
Ah, okay. Interestingly then, because I'm thinking, where the bricks come from? Okay. Clever,
they're on the
clever inking up.
Clever inking. They're the base of the steps.
Yeah.
So clever. You mask it off and just ink
that
bit
stamp.
and then repeat stamp.
Nice.
Over the place. Yeah.
So I was thinking,
it's really clever to build the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Sheila Metzler again, just taking the little iron chair and then the window as well. So that looks like one of those lovely little bijou restaurants that you find.
A little cafe.
Yeah.
Nice. I reckon Barb and Grace saw a few of these cafes while they were in Paris.
Quite likely.
Little
quite
bistros.
likely. And then D
Wow.
has gone for it.
Goodness
But
me.
isn't that fantastic? It's a whole scene.
That's lovely. So it's got the
So-
wicker chairs.
2 wicker chairs, yeah,
Yeah.
from a set that
It's
it's
coming
coming
up
up.
next.
And then hit 2 windows from these are all fussy cut,
Oh,
stuck
are
on,
they?
yeah. And
Oh,
so are the
wow.
steps. She's built plant pots, there's fencing.
Wow.
Yeah. The
Little
dog's
dog.
stamped, but these are fussy cut and stuck on as well. I mean, just brilliant.
Beautiful.
Just
Isn't
brilliant.
that
And there's some of the
lovely?
leaves
Yes. From
around
one
the
of the
top.
other sets.
I think that's from the
from-
deck chair set.
Yeah. Wow.
So she's used at least 3 sets on
Yeah.
this just to bring them together. But it just shows how they
You
all,
can build
know,
a
you've
scene
got
if you want to.
well, you've got the common style, haven't you, through
Yes.
them? So they mix and match really beautifully.
Yeah. Okey-doke.
Right.
So we go on to.
Am I still on set 2?
Set
I
2.
don't know, I've
Yeah.
lost
hang on.
count. Yes.
Where did that come from? That's the one. Set 2. The mouse slipped.
Set 2 is and this one is the deck chairs.
Yes.
Love these deck chair images. They're just brilliant. But you've got a water fountain, you've got a little sun and a cloud, a tree that you can use on its own. These corner images that kind of run through several of the sets are just brilliant. So that's the one D used on this card. Are just great for framing.
Yeah.
Really good. Look, a couple of little mugs in here.
Slippers.
She's taken her shoes off.
Yeah.
She's got bare feet. Her shoes are here, so you can always stamp them next to the deck chair.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Nice.
And in fact, there they are.
Look at that. Who's done that? That's
That
beautiful.
Deb McMullin.
Wow.
Lovely. And then just the leaves framing.
Yeah.
It so you're looking through.
Beautiful.
They're sitting behind the sand dunes.
Yeah.
I'm sure the sea is the other side.
Yes, they're being protected by
the
sand dunes.
Yeah. That looks lovely. And then this one, Jane Telford. So Jane's combined 2 of the sets, the garden shed and then the deck chairs.
Yeah.
To bring them together. So they're definitely, that looks like a serious size garden.
I was going to say, I'd love a garden
relaxing.
like that with that view.
Really
with
nice.
those hills in the background.
Very nice.
Nice.
Like Welsh countryside.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And then by contrast, we're still on the deck chair set.
Yeah.
But no deck chairs. So look at that gorgeous little
the reflection.
Image with the reflection, but the sun popping out from behind the clouds.
Nice.
Really lovely. That's Jane Telford again as well.
Beautiful.
But just so clever.
Like that a lot.
And then this is Jane as well. And again, no deck chairs, but look at the impact.
That's a real sort of inky
might be brushes.
Possibly, yeah.
Stamp that, but just use the little water fountain.
Nice.
That she's coloured in, and then all the impacts in the background.
Yeah.
That's really lovely. I love that.
It's quite mythical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine
actually,
a dragon coming out, sort of thing, like Merlin.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know where I got that.
Yeah, but there's real depth to it, isn't there? I mean,
Yeah.
this looks like a flower.
It does. Yeah.
In fact, they are flowers. They're stamped.
Oh.
There's flowers stamped on it.
Oh yeah.
Bear with,
zoom
friends.
in.
Deck chair stamp set
Doodling.
plus a bit of doodling.
Let's come in close on that though. If I zoom in.
Let me come up. So Jane's doodled around the ink blots.
Nice.
Wow.
I like that. I suppose it's like when you
Kudos,
look at the
Jane.
designer papers, isn't it? You look at the designer
start to
paper
see.
and you see different scenes and you doodle around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And then back to something a bit more traditional,
I like
a
that as
tag.
well. That's a lovely topper on the card.
Beautiful.
As well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Just sat in the deck chair by the water fountain.
Nice. Who did that one?
Who did that one? That is Sarah Brennan.
Beautiful.
Cool. That's lovely, Sarah. Let me
really
move it up
nice.
and then everybody can see it properly.
Yeah.
In fact, the colours look a bit muted on screen. It's a really lovely yellow.
Yeah. Really vibrant.
Yeah. So that's deck chairs.
Yeah.
Am I still on set 2?
Still on set 2.
Which is the wicker chairs. And again, lots more accents in here. You've got the little dog.
Yeah.
So you've got the 2 chairs and the table, the little dog. You've got some butterflies, a couple of little birds, a little bird house,
Yeah.
a lantern, and then more leaves and a string of lights as well.
Nice.
If you wanted them. So you could
Summer
create one of those
days,
lovely.
barbecue.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So this fab composition is Julie done. So she's created it on a tag and then mounted it. So she's used one of the mixed impressions.
Oh yes, in that background.
Texture stamps in the background on this, yeah. But look, the string of lights above looks like they're ready for a outdoor party.
Yeah.
Poppy's still asleep.
Bless him.
And then by contrast, at this one, there's no colour on the table, just a little bit of shading for shadow.
Yeah.
The colours in the background. So having the masks means that you can do this really easily.
Yeah, and it looks like one of those blending tools.
Oh yes,
daubed,
dotted down to get the circles.
Nice, I like
really
that.
Pretty.
Sort of.
That's Elaine Milner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this next one's Elaine as well, but this time she's coloured them.
I like that.
But we've got designer paper. Yep. That's one of the luggage labels. Is that a luggage label? Yeah. And then designer paper in the background, but picking up the colours from the designer paper. That's just really lovely.
Right, and then using the garlands in each of the opposite corners.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's set 2.
So now we go on to set 3.
Set 3, we'll start with the
11016 for the complete collection.
We'll start with a hammock.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. So you've got 2 trees here, which means you can
hang your
hammock. But lots of little grasses, a little basket of flowers, a couple of hats, some lovely shrubbery, ferns might be.
Foliage.
Yes.
Some foliage.
Foliage. So there we go. There's the hammock hanging. A couple of hats hung in the tree as well, and the gardening, the trug.
Yes.
Under here.
Flowers.
Yeah, with the flowers in it.
Nice.
Perfect for getting your feet.
It's got like a mist to it, hasn't it?
It has.
It's been
there's something silvery.
Yeah, I think it's like a metallic or something spray, but it gives it that mystical.
You can just see. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Nice.
I think this is D. It is. So again, she's created the scene using the stamps. The bird, this little chap,
Ducky,
is from the final.
Yes,
stamps,
from
the Rose Arch. But yeah,
it's just the little bird box.
So it's the little bird house. That's right.
Nice.
Yeah, that's lovely. And then this one, which is one of Jane's, doesn't use the hammock at all.
Oh no!
So she's used that leafy spray.
Yeah, and pattern building, is it using the sentiment to create a frame?
And then the little plant pots in the corners.
Nice.
And one of the stencils behind it.
Yeah.
That's really lovely.
Wild Privet, I think that one's called.
Yes, that's right.
So nice. And then we're going to go for a swing in the garden.
Okay, yeah. So we've got the chair swing.
Nice.
Got a fence in this one as well. Some lovely Chinese lanterns and those lanterns that stick in the ground.
Yeah.
And some more foliage. So Dee's given us
lovely watercolor
beautiful
piece, isn't it?
Scene.
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried about the height of some of these chair swings. That's all I want to say. People might need a step ladder. Health and safety and all that,
isn't it? It's in the distance.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
They're really lovely.
Yeah.
It's cool. This is a Barb one. I saw this on Barb's blog.
And this beautiful.
When I was looking at these stamps, that's just got, so that again, that's one of her entwined frames, and then just pencil coloured lightly, and then she's doodled the lines across to create the background, just doodled some lines and then coloured it in.
See, landscapes are classic, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really
but if you look, she's hung the lanterns off the entwined frame as well.
Yeah. Nice.
That's just beautiful. And this one uses the wicker chairs that we looked at just now with the swing, which is seriously high.
Chairs on your birthday.
And the word chain alphabet.
Yes.
To make that, that's clever. Chairs on your birthday.
Chairs on your birthday. Have a lovely day.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it. I love the colours on this. They're just so pretty.
That's
so pretty. It's Carol Pankstello. Yeah, that's really cool.
Super. And then we've got the final one. I think this,
Last but
I
not
don't know whether
least.
this is my favourite. It's hard, isn't it, the designs. So this is the lovely Rose Arch, item number 11026.
This would be lovely for wedding stamps.
Yes.
With the Arch of Roses. After great sentiment, after the storm comes the rainbow. And this is where you'll find the little ducks. One of them transformed into a goose. And no, he was a duck.
It was a duck. So he's a, well, it
wasn't a white duck, was he?
No.
And look, a little beehive with bees.
Bees.
I spotted a beehive on one of the cards, and then I was hunting through, going, "Where's
that from?
Where's there a beehive?" It's
there
here.
It is.
It's here.
Lovely.
Okay, so there we go. There's our little birdhouse.
Some of those flowers have been
just so pretty.
Decoupaged.
They have. They've been fussy cut and then just stuck on. They're not layered up. They're stuck on, but just on designer paper.
Yeah.
Just so pretty. Just really soft looking. And then by contrast, this is on craft.
This is, I like the
just had some ink brushed onto it. Yes, the background's pattern building with the ducks and the daisy and the bees.
Might as well like a children's nursery.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah.
And then one here with the arch on.
Nice.
I think, is that D? Yeah, this is D as well. And D's embossed the brick wall stencil. We'll have a look at that one in a minute. And then cut round it, which is really clever, so effective. And then an arch die.
That's the nested arch. And I reckon she scored
it.
The brickwork into it.
Yeah, to get those. That's really cool. And then finally, the little beehive.
I love the colour of this.
It's
sort of like lavender,
so soft,
looking, isn't it?
Yeah. So all this lavender round and that lovely, and then bees scattered around. Almost looks like a Laura Ashley type print.
Yeah, very nice.
Cool.
So there's a wonderful selection of artwork there. And don't forget, you can watch on Catch Up and Craft. You can watch any of these videos back at any time you want. So you can fast forward. You can pause it. If you like a piece of artwork that we've shown you, you can pause it, maybe take a screenshot of it. And then you can sort of, if you take a picture of it, you want to know a bit more about it, then pop it onto Facebook, onto the Clarity Worldwide or the social pages, and then ask the question, who made this? How did you make it?
And if you look at yesterday and today on Clarity Worldwide as well, and there'll probably be some more tomorrow, design team have popped their samples up there, so you can find them there as well, and then you know who to ask as well. Ask away. Yeah.
Right. So the first demo is the floral stairs.
It is, and I thought, I don't do many fun folds, but I thought it would be fun to do a fun fold.
I wonder what's a fun fold.
And for once, this is a time when you do need your card blank the wrong way round, opening left to right.
Right.
Because the steps open, so we'll talk about doing that. And you've got your window here, and then the card opens that way.
Clever.
So that's quite neat. I made this into a new home card that you could do. But I just liked with the steps coming in from the left and a bit of embossing.
Yeah.
Bit different.
Okay.
Okay, right. Let's talk what I learned first.
I'm not saying anything.
I learned a few lessons when I was doing this one to start with. This wasn't my first go at it.
Right.
You can see on the card front that I've embossed. Well, maybe you can. I've embossed the brick wall stencil onto it.
Camera number 3.
So if you can just see, it just gives you that bit more definition and depth. Let me go the right way. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I knew I wanted to put the window here.
Right.
So I thought to myself, right, I've got my new kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Let's have a go at embossing it through. But I'll be really intelligent and clever, and I'll put a little embedder here.
Right.
Because then that'll give me a nice flat square bit in the middle.
Yes.
And then I'll emboss. I'll put my brick wall stencil over the top, run it through. Job's a good one.
Okay.
Okay. Except it wasn't.
Okay.
So I've done this so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Because with the pressure, where have you gone?
Yeah.
With the pressure, it embossed all the way through. Can you see in that middle bit?
I see.
It's not as defined as here, but it still went through.
Yes.
Okay. I now have an embossed embedder.
Nice. Yes.
Well, interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
Different. That wasn't the word I used at the time.
Like alligators.
Yes.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
And I have a stretched and torn stencil.
Oh dear, goodness me.
Because what obviously happened was, as I put it through, having tried to be really intelligent, with this embedder underneath the stencil, this part moved.
Yes.
As it went through. This didn't.
Yeah.
This doesn't move against the card, but this did move, and it obviously slid and it stretched it, and actually a couple of bits of the stencil have actually split. I mean, it's not unusable.
No, but yeah, but you learn that because obviously the pressure, all machines are different pressure wise, aren't they? And you put the rubber shim in there so you get that lovely deep impression onto your card
Yeah,
stock.
I'd use the shim.
And yeah, I can see the logic behind it. But if I put that embedder there, then it will block off.
Exactly.
And I can also see now that you've explained it that the two plastics together move, so that when it's going through the rollers and as it hits the rollers in the machine, it's pushing it back.
Yes.
Because it's sliding. So
yeah. And the other thing I did actually was put some masking tape under the embedder to hold it in place, as we would have. And I've got the outline of the masking tape
as well,
embedded in there as well.
It's a good way to learn, isn't it?
I'm sharing that because then you don't need to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
So we then went for plan B.
Right.
So my starting point was to emboss my brick wall stencil onto a 5x5 card blank.
Okay. If you'd like the brick wall stencil, it's item number 00010, one of the early ones.
This is a new stencil, but I have had that one a long time, so it's not the worst that could happen. The trick with this is to line this edge of your stencil here, of the pattern part, against the crease of your card.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So you sit it there like that. Pop a bit of masking, low tack tape here, and then run it through your embossing machine with a shim.
Yeah.
You will find in your, this is my kit and caboodle instructions, but they all come with instructions. The instructions I use are the ones that says for embossing using a die, because you'll not find in any instructions that I've ever seen how to emboss with a stencil. They'll tell you how to emboss with a folder.
Yeah.
But not with a stencil. So I use the instructions for embossing with a die.
Okay.
Okay. And just where you put the die, you put the stencil instead.
Yes.
And then that works.
Super. Okay.
So you'd tape that on here and then run it through.
Yeah.
I've got one I did earlier.
Super.St
here. Now what happens is, inevitably, because of the pressure, you're going to get an embossed edge. Let me see. Can we pick it up? Down here from the edge of the stencil. Go on, you're the expert.
Well, there it goes.
You can just see that.
It's just there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But actually that's okay. It looks all right on the back of your card.
It's like a finishing edge.
It is.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It is. The trick is to line your patterned edge here on the crease. Okay. Yeah. So then the whole of the front of my card is now embossed.
Brickwork.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm going to fold my card closed, and then I shall attempt now. This will be interesting, won't it?
Oh, to reposition.
Because this is my new stencil. Hang on, where's my straight edges there? Do you know what? I'm going to my old one because that's what I used to emboss this. Right, I've got.
Right, I can see it on there. Let me grab that stencil.
Can you?
I think.
Good man.
If you lift up from there.
Normally, when you do this, you wouldn't take your stencil straight.
No.
You would take your stencil off.
Let me see. So that I saw it a minute ago.
It's a bit bent because my stencil was bent.
Ah, right. So that's why the brick wall's gone a bit dodged. So the new one will not line up.
Will not line up and fit.
Okay. So whilst
Okay.
Debs is repositioning that,
I should have thought to look at this earlier.
that's all right.
That would have been mildly intelligent, wouldn't it?
So what we'll do, I'll just bring up some details, some full screen graphics for you. So if you like set 1, item number 11014, and then I reckon, let's have a look, is it?
You reckon it's that way? I've got it upside down.
I think so.
Okay.
We're
It's
just
going to sit over here somewhere.
So this is set 1, which gives you the greenhouse, the garden shed, and the summer house with the lemon tree. Okay, item number 11014. Then set 2, which Deborah's using at the moment. Item number 11015, and that gives you your deck chairs, your floral stairs, and your wicker chairs.
Got it.
Okay, super. And then finally, set 3, 11016, and that contains your garden swing, your hammock, and your lovely rose arch. Okie doke. So let's come back to Deborah, and we'll have a look on the overhead then.
Got it. So this is my warped stencil.
Right. Okay.
So I'm just fixing it on there. That'll hold it while I just brush it. And then look, you can see how badly distorted it is. Honestly, I was
and this is a bit you couldn't have
say I was not
before
happy
because you didn't have a new stencil until
no, I didn't until I got here today
in the half-price member sale last week.
So then, all you need to do, I'm using pumice stone.
Quite apt then for the brickwork.
Yeah, and it's a really nice soft colour. I really like it. And then just. It's much easier if your stencil's flat, let me tell you. I'll just do it quickly so you get the idea.
See, I quite like that one that is sort of that little bit buckled now, because now you've got some character into that stone wall, haven't you?
You're very kind.
I know.
Thank you.
You can pay me later.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I do like that curve to it because it looks like an old stone wall that you see on a country wall.
Yeah. I'm not going to chuck this stencil out.
No.
I was very close to it at the time, but
I bet. Out the window.
Yeah.
So Debs is using our lovely stencil brushes.
I'm just sweeping backwards and forwards.
Item number 31763.
That'll do. Okay, yeah.
And if you'd like, maybe you've had an incident with your brick wall stencil, and maybe you're looking to purchase a new one, then the item number is 00010.
So all that does is just pick up the bricks?
Yeah, because it's raised, isn't it, through there? Yeah.
Okay, so the next step is to get our window and steps.
So
having failed to emboss an area here, I resorted to fussy cutting. So stamped it on a scrap piece of card, coloured it in with pergoliners, and then just cut around the edge
outside,
so it sits there neatly. But let me talk about the steps, because the steps are on a fold.
Yeah.
So I cut a piece of card 7 centimeters deep and 10 centimeters wide. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I scored it at 3 centimeters. Can you see here? It's got a fold.
Yeah.
And stamped the steps. So here's one I've already cut and folded, scored, cut and scored. We talk about stamping the steps because it's tricky when you've got a small piece of card that's almost the exact size of your stamp. How do you stop it moving? Well, there's this product which people may have heard of.
Yeah, low-tack tape. I think this is probably number 2 on Debs's top list.
After the embedders.
So item number 31212 for 4 rolls of those.
So I've taped this down on the edge. I'm not stamping the smaller bit. So there's this larger piece here, which is basically 7 centimeters by 7 centimeters, is pretty much the size of the floral step stamp. So I've lined the edge of the stamp here with the crease on my card.
Okay.
And then I'll use one of my mega mounts. I'm going to use this embossed corner here, etched corner. I'm going to line up with this edge of the card. Then I can go straight back down where I was.
Super.
Well, that's the theory.
Okay. We've had a question from Lovely Pat. What
Hi,
is the
Pat.
difference between Distress Oxide and Distress Ink?
So Distress Oxide are chalky.
Yeah.
Distress inks are more translucent.
Right. Okay.
So it kind of depends what effect you're looking for, Pat. They're both dye-based inks, so they work in the same way. If you want something that's a bit more translucent and softer, then go with Distress Ink.
Yeah.
The chalkiness of the oxides will kind of put a coating on as you ink it.
Like an opacity of it, isn't it?
Yes.
Sort of,
yeah. It's quite nice for the brickwork using the oxide because you do just get that chalkiness
chalky look
to it. Yeah. But and sometimes I use them both together on the same project. I wouldn't use the same stencil brushes for the inks as I use for the oxides.
Right.
And I can talk about that a bit later because you get the chalky residue on your stencil brush, which is fine with the oxides, but then when you come to use the inks, you'll get some of that chalkiness through if you're using the same brush. Right. Does that make sense?
Okay, super.
Hope that helps.
Excuse me.
Okay, I've got Acorn. I've only got a little mini ink pad, but I know we've got the bigger ones. Are on the list. I quite like this because it's a slightly greeny brown, but any brown ink will do for this.
We do have a selection of mini archivals on the website. If you search mini archival on the claritycraft.com website, you'll find we've got some lovely little sets still available.
Right, I just need to make sure I've got it inked all over properly. I'll often, as I said this morning, then just stamp it out to make sure I've got good coverage. That's good. Yeah, this is a lovely kind of softer brown, almost greeny colour. I haven't used it very much, but any of the browns, potting soil, espresso, just depends what tone you want. Okay, so I'm going to go back down, lined up on that top right hand corner of the card, stamp it down. Love these steps, they're just a fab image.
They're really nice. I love the little flower bouquets, the pots of flowers on there as well. Pots of flowers
are lovely. There we go. Nice. So that fits really nicely.
Yeah.
So that's handy because it means your card doesn't move while you're stamping
it, and because you've got the folds in it already, it's raised up already, isn't it?
Yeah, so and it's helpful having the. Well, you could do it the other way around. You could stamp it first and then score it.
Yeah.
That would work. Here's one I did earlier.
Super.
So that's now coloured in.
Yeah.
The helpful thing with it, I've now put them away. On this one, I shaded it in with polychromos.
Oh,
with a grey.
Essential 12.
That really nice warm grey.
Yeah.
Just to take, because you don't want a bright white background against here.
No. So we've got those set of 12 essentials. Item number is 31031.
Yeah, I use this one, this kind of beigey grey, because that sits really nicely against the pumice stone.
Yeah.
And I just kind of scribbled.
Of course,
highlighted the steps a bit, but just scribbled on it. You don't need a lot, but you just need to soften that white card.
Whiteness.
Yeah, and then I fussy cut it. I'm just
Which
looking
is
at
fairly
the time.
easy, isn't it?
Yeah, and just cut it straight round. What I'm going to do is just cut this top edge. So I went all the way around here.
Yeah.
Which I won't do at the moment, but I'll just cut across here because then I can attach it to the card. The trick I find when fussy cutting is to stay just slightly fractionally away from the outline of your stamped image.
See, I can't do that. I struggle with that because I go, oh yeah, I'm getting right to there, and I'll go around the corner or something, and I'll cut in too far, or so I cut to the edge. I can't fussy cut.
I find if I do that, I lose my line.
Right.
So I go just like you would get with a die cut.
Yeah.
The other thing about fussy cutting is when you've done that, you get a bit of a raised edge because the
Mm.
scissors compress the paper fibres.
Yes.
So I tend to then use my use a bone folder, and I just go round on the edges of the
Oh,
card.
I see. Yeah.
Sorry, let me come up. I'm just doing it between my finger and between my thumb and the bone folder,
Yeah.
and kind of pulling across the edge, and then you can do it on the other side as well. It just smooths out that raised edge.
I know sometimes.
It also means you can shape them and bend them if you want to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a knife person. I like a nice craft knife, so I would cut that out with a craft knife rather than scissors.
Yeah.
But some craft knives, depends on the size of the blade, when you're cutting along the edge of the card, it can burr inwards to the thing. Now, our lovely Japanese craft knife, it doesn't do that. But if you had a different craft knife, when you're doing that, then you could do that same technique with the bone folder just to sort of smooth it out.
That's lovely. Yeah. So there are two ways you can do this next step, because the next thing is, so you want your card opening the wrong way round, left to right, because we're then going to pop the steps around it. So the steps open to then open the card. Two options on this.
Yeah.
One is to glue it on the back of your card.
Yeah.
Comme ça, which is fine.
Okay.
But means you can see it.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
And that's quite simple to do. What I did on this one, I got a bit carried away, I think. So, and I've glued my topper on here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I glued it on the inside of my card front. So I did this. I glued it here.
Yeah.
On the inside. Okay. Now, clearly you don't want it sitting there so you can see it. So I couple of strips of scrap card just to level this off under here, and then I just put another piece of card over the top. So this is sandwiched between the card blank and this inner piece.
That's really, I like that idea.
The only thing to be aware of is it makes your card a bit thicker because you've got extra. So actually your card, the back of your card is now 3 layers of card. Yeah? Yeah. Which is fine, but you just need to be aware.
Okay.
And then all I did to finish was add in a rub-on sentiment.
Nice.
New home one, and stamp the little daisy from the set.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
To follow the daisy theme through.
Super.
But I do like this.
Yeah, that's because you automatically think, oh, you've got to open the stairs first, and then, oh, where do I open it? But it's that reverse opening, isn't it? Nice.
Yeah. So that was that.
Super duper. Right. Okay. So that's card number 1 done. So should I have a bit of a recap while you can get ready for the next demo?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll do the
so let's have a look at Linda's In the Garden Set 1 A5 Square Stamp and Mask Trio. Item number 11014, and that will give you the greenhouse, the garden shed, and the lemon tree with the lovely summer garden shack at the end of the garden. If you want to go for set number 2, item number 11015, you have the deck chairs, the floral stairs that Deborah's just been using, and you also get the wicker chairs as well. Then we have set number 3, item number 11016, Linda's In the Garden set number 3, and that will give you your garden swing, your hammock, and your rose arch. Okay, are we good to go, Miss Deborah?
Yeah,
right,
let's have a look.
Okay, so we're with the hammock, which is in set 3 now.
We're going to chill in a hammock.
Okay, very nice. Sounds very nice. Ice cream.
That'll do nicely, thank you. If you're offering.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. Little ATC looks massive on the photo.
It does.
On the download, it is a little ATC.
Put that next to a normal size.
That's an ink pad.
You
next
can see.
to it.
Yeah, and compared to where's it gone?
When Jazz brought them through, I was like, "Oh, blimey! That's the photo. That's actual size." Okay.
But it's nice though, because our friends at home can then see the detail, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
So, as I said, the ATC and PTC, parchment trading card swaps are just brilliant and such fun, and a
Mm.
really good way to connect with people in the Clarity community.
Yeah.
Design team take part,
And
you take part,
Yeah, and
Barb
because it's
takes part.
small as well. There's no.
It's not a massive.
It's not that size.
Yeah, yeah, and you've got a theme.
Yeah.
And you've got a colour, so you're not sat there looking at a blank piece of card, thinking, "What am I going to do?" You kind of can crack on. And actually, when everybody shares theirs, I love seeing all the different angles people have taken on them. So June's theme for the ATCs is holidays and blue.
Right.
Hence this.
Hence that. Super.
So I started with some of my little inky mop-ups. You know, I love a bit of a mop-up. Some of these were from cleaning my brayer.
Right.
With various colours. That's mopping up ink off my craft mat. I've got a whole folder of these. These are the 3.5 square stencil cards. So I just chopped it at 2.5 inches. You've got the 3.5.
Yeah.
And then you're good to go.
Nice.
I'll show you how I stamped it up, and then it's just coloured in. But it's quite nice just to think about framing.
Yeah. Composition. It's nice because you've got those two trees, haven't you?
Yeah.
The opposite ends.
Yeah. So let's go. Again, if you're worried about your ATC shifting, then
just tape it
just
down.
Tape it down, and it's not going to move on you.
I think we need to rename this product as Deb's low-tack masking tape.
You give me the royalties as well.
Rebrand it.
I stamped the trees in green, which might seem a bit of an odd thing to do.
Right.
But actually, when you colour them with a pencil, it keeps it green for the leaves. So you get a green outline on the leaves. And I'm going over the edge, by the way.
Okay.
Because I want it to flow off the side of the
top.
Off the side of here. Which I always think is really nice. And anyway, I'd never managed to line it up exactly. There we go. That will do. So let's come in on the other side. Sorry, you were mid-sentence when I
can't remember
interrupted you.
Obviously, it wasn't important. I just waffle sometimes for the sake of waffling.
I'm not saying anything.
You didn't disagree.
I'm not. I'm staying quiet. I'm going to plead the Fifth Amendment on that one, mate.
Oh, dear. I think we were talking about your low-tack tape.
Yeah.
I can see why you've used a green and not a brown, because you think, oh, I'll use a brown because of the trunk.
Because of the trunk.
But then, as you say, because you've got the green leaves, it's easier. It sounds weird. Easier to change the colour of the bark than it is the leaves.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. And by the time you've coloured it, it looks like it just is more texture.
Yeah.
Come down. There we go. That one's not come out so well, but it's good enough by the time I get colour in. And then I wanted leaves across the top, so I wanted it to sit like it was actually sitting within.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there aren't any spare leaves.
Right.
There's this little one actually, but actually I just wanted to fill that space.
Yeah.
So simply just
random
use that.
Yeah.
So you don't have to think about placing or anything. Either of the tree ones works. Ink it up and then just line it up here like that and drop it in. And that just fills in that gap across the top. There you go.
Nice framer as well, though, isn't it? You could take that foliage, just that part, and go all the way around.
Yeah, exactly.
The trunk, couldn't you? That'd be a really nice.
Exactly. Frame. The other trick then is to this one's a bit light, but they're always fine once you've coloured them.
Yeah.
Is to line up your what's this? Hammock.
Hammock.
If you find, like this one, you see here, look, this chain, whatever it is going right up the tree. But I probably want it around, there's a tree branch here.
Oh, right,
yeah?
Okay.
So my favourite product, but these are just little things that really help.
Yeah, I can
And
see.
you can just stick that there, and then it'll look like it's looped around that branch instead of just heading
it
into
up
the middle of the
yeah.
tree.
What is it attached to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just line that up. And then I'm going to use my mega mount again to line it up so I can see where I'm going. I hope this is helpful, friends.
You've got many friends in the room.
I'm just going in the middle of the ATC. And this would work for any topper. I mean, this isn't about necessarily making a ATC with this design. This would work.
It happened to coordinate with the theme, didn't
it did. I was very happy. This time I'm using watering can. I do like this colour. It's a lovely bluey, but it's a kind of almost blue toned grey.
Yeah.
And it's softer than black. So then I can now aim this for where I want it without trying to kind of manage that. Because the other problem would be, like we did this morning, I masked off part of the stamp with the tape.
Yeah.
But actually
it'd be quite difficult.
I'd never get it back in the right place.
No, and
where
also
I wanted it.
because, and then depending on where you masked it and where you stamped it, it could look a bit odd going into the tree, couldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mind you, we haven't looked at this one yet. There we go. And then if you just lift this off, I've got the hammock hopefully hanging from a branch. There we go.
Yeah. It now looks as if that's sort of like a predefined scene already.
Yeah. And it's actually hanging within the tree. So then all I did on this one was just colour it with pergoliners. I mean, it's amazing what a difference just getting the colour in.
Yeah.
And so brown on the tree trunks, obviously green on the leaves, and then a couple of blues that I shaded in together for the hammock.
I suppose whatever colour you want it
to be,
it? It depends on your inky backup for the ATC.
Yes.
But I mean, if you could have gone more pink if you wanted to, if it was...
I could. Yeah, depending on what colour you choose to use.
Nice.
And the Enjoy Peaceful Moments sentiment is in the hammock set as well.
Super.
It's here. So, and that just went in the watering can as well.
Nice.
So if you're not already part of the swap group for ATCs, I'd say come and join us and play along. You'll be able to find the posts from Liz Goldsmith or Jane Telford in the featured section on Clarity Mini Makes Facebook page. Yeah, so if you'll see along the top there's a bit that says featured, and if you click in that and scroll down, you'll get to their posts. And then you just add in the comments that you're interested, but you've got till lunchtime tomorrow. And
you can do it once. You could just do it a one-off if you want to, or you can agree that you want to do it every month, or you want to do it say for the next 2 months, and then you haven't got to think about then, I need to remember to sort of sign up for it.
No.
But if you do it after a month and you think that's it, I don't want to do it again,
then you don't have to.
That's not a problem at all. So, right.
That's cool. Okay. So that's my ATC.
That's that one done. Okay. So I will bring up some details. I'm going to have a recap on what we looked at this morning with the teas and coffees.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll clear this down and get ready, get my deck chairs out.
Okay, deck chairs.
Sorry, Paul.
Time for tea.
Okay, he's gone now. Are you all right to do that? Are you all right to speak?
Yeah. Tea, coffee.
Friends, this is Linda's time for tea, coffee, and cake.
There you go.
A6 stamp and mask collection.
Yeah. We're not going
can you
down
breathe now?
I can breathe now. Item number 11343. You have a wonderful saving of £38, bringing the price down to £55.92. If you would just like a cup of tea with a selection of designs from Linda Williams, then item number 11341. £19 saving, bringing it to £27.96. Now I'm going to go back to normal. If you want some coffee and cake, then item number 11342. So we've looked at In the Garden from Linda Williams, the lovely greenhouse, the garden shed, and the lemon tree with the lovely garden summer house. Item number 11014. Then we've been looking at the deck chairs And the floral stairs together with the wicker chairs, item number 11015. That's set number 2. And then finally, the garden swing, the hammock, and the rose arch, which is the one that Deborah was just using. And that was item number 11016. All of them are available individually. If you go to the catch up and craft section, have a look at this afternoon's show, you'll see the video. And then underneath the video, there's items showcased in the show. Click that and it'll take you straight to that page. Are we good to go now?
Excellent, well done.
Super, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we look at what you did?
Yeah. Here's me and Paul when we come off air.
I wish I could go for a nice paddle now.
I love these deck chair stamps. They're just.
I'm going to try. I'm going to zoom in. For me, when I was setting up the camera earlier on, if I zoom in, that's in number 2, and it's like you're going through a portal. If I go to number 4 now, you're looking through that portal. It will come in. Put my finger like that, and now you're looking out into that scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah. I was pretty chuffed with this one.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
And this is again a combination of stencils and masks, a stencil and mask. Oh, why am I lining up that one to work on? So, 6x6 card blank.
Yeah.
I've just run masking tape onto the back of it along the crease.
Okay.
Because it's a 7x7 stencil, so I'm using the circle stencil.
Right.
Circle frame stencil.
Item number 00113.
And let me just, so I can attach that down there. Let me just make sure it's stuck on properly.
Some more of that lovely low tack tape. Item number 31212.
Okay, that's good. That's got that attached. It's not quite hinged, but it's fine. Yeah. Right. The first thing I want to do, and there's a reason for using this frame. Actually, that's not central. Sorry. The reason for using the frame is I'm going to use masks to create the seaside theme.
Yeah.
And you could use a big circle mask. We've got some simple shapes masks, haven't we?
Yeah.
The tricky thing I find with them sometimes is they're obviously very flexible, so it can be difficult to get them down like this.
Yes.
And masks on masks, when you're moving your top masks about, can be a bit tricky as well. Because obviously the masks stick to each other.
Yeah.
Whereas with a stencil,
there's a little bit more
resistance, easier. Well, and you can lift it up and flip and work underneath it. So the first thing I need to do is to get my couple in their deck chair stamped in place.
Yes.
Like we were talking about this morning, when you work with masking, you start at the front and then you work backwards into the image. Oh, here's my other bit of learning from the kit and caboodle this week. The corner of the metal shim is sharp.
I mean, all metal shims in all of the different die cutting machines. Yeah.
It was when I was doing Barbara's landscape course on Wednesday, and I brushed my knuckle against it. It was on my desk, and I brushed my knuckle against the edge of it. Just fetched up a flap. Of course, it was so hot. I mean, there was blood everywhere.
Nice.
I was like, no, not on my artwork. Right. So what I've done, I've used the edge of the stencil and I've tried to, the curve on the deck chairs, sit it against the curve and the edge of my stencil.
Right, okay.
So the base of the deck chairs is coming beyond. So like,
let's try to zoom in.
I've tried to, here's where I've aimed for.
Yes.
That's the curve I'm matching onto my stencil.
Right, okay.
But at the moment I'm on top of my stencil.
Yeah.
And that is intentional.
Okay.
Somewhere I've got a bigger, this is a really helpful mega mount. I think this is the,
is that 5x7 or
6x4, something like that. And as I said this morning, the you can put both stamps on at the same time.
Yes.
So having got them in place, I'm now picking them up on my mount.
And you're lining up the bottom of
I'm lining the bottom of the mount with the bottom of the card.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just give it a quick measure. 5.5 by 4.
5.5 by 4. Make a note, you'll find those on the website.
Okay. That's a really handy one.
Yeah.
For lengthways. So then I can open my stencil out. Right, I'm now going to stamp my deck chairs because obviously I don't want to stamp them on top of my stencil.
No, because it'd be on the stencil, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It has been known. Okay.
It's nice that you, with these different elements from Linda, that you can mix and match the different ones. So you could have this on the beach.
Yep.
In the garden.
In the garden, as we saw.
Under the rose arch. Under the lemon tree. In front of the swings.
Yeah. Outside the greenhouse.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 stamps. I'm pressing on them both.
Yes.
Because the temptation, it sounds obvious, but the temptation might be just to press it, or press in the middle and then you get a squidge.
Yeah.
I didn't check them, so let's hope we're okay. Okay, that'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do. Yeah. So they're stamped there nicely. There we go. So they're now sitting around the edge of the stencil.
Nice. Okay. I like that.
So I'm going to switch to some, and I hope you're okay with us, friends. The next thing I need to do is mask these off.
Yeah.
And I talked this morning about laying masks down because the masks with the pre-cut masks, and they're fiddly, and these have lovely cutouts, which is just brilliant. But actually, if you get your image lined up like as though you were stamping an overlay stamp.
Yeah.
So forget about the edges. Get your image into focus as you go down on the main part. So like get the stripes on the deck chair lined up, and then all these other bits will drop into place because they're precision cut.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Right. So here's one I did earlier. That's masked. Right. My next thing then is to build my seascape. Let me just line this back up on here. About there, I think. Looks about right. Oh, look, I've moved it, honestly. I hope everybody's all right, still with us on a Friday afternoon.
So it's a nice... sometimes it's better to be indoors and rather than be outside the heat, isn't it? It was interesting. I mean, obviously, we've had heat for years and we've had fans at home and stuff like that. And there's always, whenever we get some hot weather, there's always tips and tricks on how to keep cool and everything else. And now, for the first time ever, I've seen that when if you've got a fan in the room, you automatically think, oh, you'll point it at yourself and it cools you down and everything else. But they say you should actually now point it towards an open window to blow the hot air out.
Oh, hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
It's useful. Okay, these are some of my, this is one of my favourite mask sets. I use these a lot. The
Build a Scene collection.
Build a Scene collection. There are 5 different landscapes in here, and I'm going to use 2 of them.
Okay, the item number for that is 31358.
So I've got 2 of the pages. Look, you can see these are well used. I've got the Hills and Clouds set, which are for my clouds.
Yeah.
And then At the Sea, which has got this lovely water line.
Oh, yes.
And a kind of beach line down here.
Yes. Okay.
I didn't put the lighthouse in this time. There's so many options on these. They're really cool. Yeah. Right. So I'm going to work from the bottom up.
Okay.
So I'll put my sand in first. Okay. And so I'm going to work below the mask.
Yeah.
For this one.
Okay.
So let's just open my hinge. I'm going to line this up about where I want it. Probably about, that'll do. Oh no, I went higher, didn't I? Let's go a bit higher. So they don't look like they're about to get washed away by the incoming tide.
Depends how the tide's coming
in. Yeah. Okay, and then just fold it over. So my mask is folded over, but that's fine because it's stuck to the stencil.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not sure and worried about hitting up here, then, you know, stick a bit of scrap paper on or an extra bit of low tack tape. Okay. So let's put some yellow in. I've got scattered straw and wild honey using distress inks this time round.
Yeah.
I put dots on the bottom of my brushes that I use inks with as opposed to oxides.
Right.
Then I know which is which.
Super. Stencil brushes, item number 31763.
So stencils on top.
Yeah.
Mask underneath.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to sweep in across to shade my sand.
On the third camera, because you can really see the colour better on the third camera as opposed to the overhead.
And then I just took a spot on sponge.
Spot on. 4 packs of the spot on sponges, item number 31215. These are great for really getting into the detailed areas, because of the lip of the stencil.
Yeah. Let's just brush that sand in a bit. Okay, and then I'm going to pop some wild honey in. Just to put a bit more depth in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take this up from the bottom. Shading in under the deck chairs. These are fantastic little masks because they're pre-cut. You've got all the gaps in the deck chairs.
Yeah.
And in there, like under their arms and under his book.
Mm.
Lovely golden sands.
Yeah.
Could do with some of that. That's it. And these are, it doesn't take a lot to build this up.
No. But it's lovely. I love that circle effect. It's like that portal, isn't it? Or porthole. And I think it really sort of all of a sudden it's changed the look of the deck chairs.
Yeah. So when you're peeling off over a mask, like this, I always put my finger down on it because the danger is otherwise, particularly if your masks are new and relatively sticky, and just go slowly, you can lift your lower mask, you can lift your bottom mask off.
Yeah.
So you just want to go steady. And pop this, let me just pop this back on its carrier sheet. And then I'm going to swap for the waterline. Let's pop that about there.
Isn't it amazing a mask, what a mask can do to create a landscape?
Yeah. Actually, what I do
and
need
also
to
protect your stamped image as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. Right, I've lost it now.
What you lost?
This.
The one that's hiding underneath.
The one that I'd got underneath. This is actually an oxide because I picked up the wrong ink pad.
But you said earlier you often combine oxides with normal distress inks in the same project.
Yeah. If you're not sure, don't want to turn your sand green, pop the mask over this. So where I used this piece for the base, then this piece underneath it is the negative, matches
the sand
it.
that you've now coloured.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, for the sake of speed, I'm just gonna sweep in the sea.
I mean, even the top part of that mask, it gives you sort of like the mountains in the distance as well, doesn't it?
So you could put a lake and then looking over into the mountains.
Yeah.
Let's just.
I mean, there is real value for money on this collection of masks.
Oh, I love them.
Just like that. It could be the mountains. You could put that in. It could be the lake. Oh, look at that. I mean, at the moment, it looks a little bit strange because you're building it up gradually, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. It reminds me of sort of like half an egg cup.
Yeah.
At this point, because you're starting to build the shape of the circle.
So then as the sea gets further out, it's not as dark.
Yeah.
So I haven't put any more ink on my brush. You can easily go in with a sponge to pick it up, but let's just quickly work this through. So you get that effect of a waterline. And then I'm going to swap because I need a horizon.
Okay.
So we'll go to this one underneath. Just got a nice straight line on it.
Yeah.
Drop that in for my horizon, roughly straight.
It's quite magical. It's just sort of seeing all of a sudden you've built your sand, you've built your sea.
Yeah. Start to create it. The other trick is to make sure you come in well from the edge, because that then gives you the definition on your circle image.
You've got to have that contrast, haven't you?
Yeah.
What's going to be left behind.
Yeah. So it's really quick and easy. I love masks. I use them so much. There we go. And then we could do with a bit of sky. So I'm going to switch to the Hills and Clouds mask and this one here.
This is lovely because it's tiny little.
They're little clouds,
aren't they?
You have to be careful with it. This one's going a bit. Look, it's split a bit because you've got that lovely dip in it.
Yeah.
That's okay. And I'm actually going to do this one upwards.
Okay.
Because I like the blue above the
clouds.
It just looks, I think it looks more natural. I'm switching to tumbled glass for this, which is a lovely pale blue. There we go. Tumbled glass, back on ink.
Yeah.
Got my black spot on
your brush.
On my brush, so I know where I am. Laid that down. And then I think I've said this before, but when I'm doing clouds, I don't go right across.
Yeah.
I just do a bit of it. And then I'll move the mask and do another bit in another place, so that otherwise you get stripy clouds. Come up here. So just offset them a bit.
I think the cloud masks are one of the great. You've got the original mask clouds as well.
Yeah, I use those a lot.
Which give you larger mask clouds. And they're in the Scenescape with Mini Moons, ice number 30150.
I'm just going to put a bit in the middle here. Nice. What's that? There's an advert, isn't there? Nice.
I don't know. We'll have a look on the overhead in a minute when you do the Velcro.
Right, this is going to get in the way. I'm going to have to come this side for it.
Did you say we was going to do a giveaway in this hour?
Oh, yes, the ATC.
Okie dokie. So Deborah is very kindly to do a giveaway in this hour. So if you would like to be in with a chance to win the ATC, what should we go for ATC in the comments?
That'll do, won't it?
So if you type the words ATC
letters
in the comment, and the letters and the words and the numbers ATC. It's been a long day, Debs.
Yeah, I know.
Very well. I'm glad we've got the studio door open, because we would have been a puddle on the floor by now. So if you put ATC in the comments, and then at the end of once we finish this, we will choose a name at random, and you'll be in a chance to win Deborah's ATC. At the 10 o'clock show, the lovely Maureen Green, she was the lucky winner of that card that you made. Teabag card. Yep. And then the little teabag gift pack.
So what I've done, tumble glass for the clouds, and then I've just swept the tumble glass in round the edge, because I want to make sure that I've got the edge of the stencil outlined. Okay, should we have a look?
Yeah, I'm going to zoom in now. Let's have a look.
And what I'll do is I'll find my pin.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Let's just let's have a bit of a reveal. And just peel these masks off carefully. I don't even know where. There we go. It can sit on there for a minute.
So even the contrast of just the white,
Yeah,
that works. It's sort of like that, not black and white TVs, but it gives it that effect, isn't it? I'm
Yeah.
sure that there must be, this is called something.
but it's lovely. And with the using the stencil means you can flip backwards and forwards for repositioning your mask quite easily.
Yeah, and because you've got the flexibility in those masks.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and check how much you've got.
Nice.
So, and then all I did was colour in perga liner pencils. Was colour in my little couple sat on the beach and just popped the sentiment from the set in as well. And that was it. So that's a complete one layer card.
Yeah, but it's got that dimension to it. It's got the dimension of it sort of as if the circle has been applied on top. And then you've got the deck chairs coming from the outside in.
Which is why I love the pop of red of the deck chairs as a contrast against
and then the lovely sort of the sea going out,
fading into the distance. Yeah,
really, really lovely. Beautiful.
Cool. Well, that one will get blogged. Actually, I think that might go up this evening because I'm conscious I did skip through that very quickly.
No, I mean, I think it was well explained. I mean, it is, you see it sort of come together when you're looking at the masks and how the masks work. And then, yeah, just that little bit of flash of colour, that red is typical sort of bright, seaside. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, right, well, what we'll do, we'll have a quick recap of everything that we've looked at, and then we'll find a winner.
Gosh, and thanks for staying with us, friends. Sorry, I'm not very good at this 1 hour live. Come on.
How long have you been doing it now? Hour and a half.
Hour and a half, yeah. A year and a half.
A year and a half. Is it really a year and a half?
Since I did the first show, January last year, I was the first show on Create and Craft TV. Yeah.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
And now?
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
There you go. Right, okay, let's have a quick recap then of the stamps in this second hour. So set 1, item number 11014, gives you the greenhouse, the garden shed, and the lemon tree with the summer house. Set number 2, item number 11015, the deck chairs that Deborah's just been using. You've got the floral stairs that was used in the very first demo, and then you've got the lovely wicker chairs as that third set. Then in set number 3, you have the garden swing, the hammock that's used in the ATC, and finally the rose arch. All of those have a £19.50 saving, bringing it down to £28.47. All of those stamp sets have their own individual masks, as Deb showed us when we were using the deck chairs earlier on as well. Right, are we good to come back so we can choose a winner, Debs?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Right, I'm going to bring up that information there. Right, and I'm going to swap into the chat like so. I'm going to say, oh, we've got loads of people entering.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to scroll back like so. I'm going to turn around.
You turn away and I'll count. Yep. Okay, 3, 2, 1, stop.
Stop. Okay, and the winner is, where's my goggles gone? Pat Henry. Oh. Congratulations, Pat. So we'll get that sent out to you. I know there's certain names I remember as being customers, and there's certain names that I don't. I mean, we've got a large customer database, but I know that Pat is a customer, so I will have your address, so we'll get that sorted out. We'll see if we can get it out to you today. Otherwise, it will get sent to you on Monday.
Wonderful. Thank you, Pat. Thanks for watching and for sticking with us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to the lovely Grace all the way over in New York. Glad to hear that it's cooled down a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you, as always, to the lovely Deborah. You're back with us again next month. You've already chosen some designs.
We've just been picking them out.
25th, I think it is, Friday the 25th.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So Deborah will be back then. Where are we now? So we're Friday, Monday, 10 o'clock, back in the shack with Barb. Continue with those lovely townhouses.
Oh, they were gorgeous. I was watching and shading them last night.
I know, those lovely pastel colours. So if you missed any of the previous episodes, you can go on to our Clarity Craft YouTube page. You can go back and watch all of our Shack episodes, Groovy Tuesday, social TV shows, There's hours and hours and hours on that. There really, really is.
Days,
Yeah.
weeks.
You would lose. Yeah.
Yes.
If you was ever stranded anywhere for a
Yeah.
month, you'd still have.
You'd be all right.
Yeah. So thank you as always, and obviously lovely Deborah for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If it is too warm, try and stay hydrated.
Yeah.
If there's any vulnerable neighbours nearby, just check that they're okay. They've got plenty of fluids and everything else. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul.
Take
Bye,
care
everyone.
now. Bye-bye.